everyone, and welcome back to LARPs and Tarps. We're here for Saturday of E3. How are we all doing this morning? Hungover from Friday's shenanigans or ready to fight in Saturday's battle?
I didn't really... Oh, do you know what? I should have been hungover, actually. I had quite a lot to drink on Friday night, which is very unusual to me.
Well, because you were missing Thursday night. You had to drink Friday night.
That's exactly it. Yeah. That is exactly it. I had the... Because we dragged Viridian into Navarre.
Why would you do that to poor Viridian? He's an innocent guy.
God, it was funny.
Cheeky little guy.
Just a cheeky guy.
Just doing shenanigans and chicanery. Ain't that right, guys?
We went to do a bar crawl, and where did we go? We went to a few nice bars, and then we ended up somewhere that killed the vibe.
Oh, didn't kill one of you a lot. It killed the vibe.
It killed the vibe, and we went, fuck it. Wise guys, best bar in Dawn. Best bar in Dawn.
True. Say, it's the only bar in Dawn.
You could end at best bar in Dawn. We can agree on that.
I had quite a bit to drink there, and then woke up the next day feeling better than I should have, honestly.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about drinking like in fresh air and waking up in a tent with the fresh air. I feel like you're less likely to be hungover.
Yeah. I don't know. I still feel really queasy every Friday morning after this Thursday night sesh.
Mostly because you don't blow up the airbed properly, so we're bouncing around all night. Not in that way.
Oh, mama.
It's probably the fact I drink a whole bottle of mead to myself as well.
Yeah, loads of it and a whole bottle of mead.
Oh, brilliant.
I can't help it. I don't have time to get drunk the rest of the event.
I wanted to get really drunk, but your jackdaws were too tired to stay up and get drunk with me, so we ended up going to bed at a fairly reasonable hour.
But yeah,
terrible.
But anyway, this is meant to be Saturday's podcast, not Friday night.
Those of us in Dawn and League were...
Oh, no, I was sorry, mistaken. There is 2 bars in Dawn now. There's the fancy wine bar as well, of course.
There is also the Glory Hole. Yeah, Saturday, monstering, usual affair, bacon sandwiches, but then I got kind of... It was a Jotun back-to-back weekend this weekend.
Hope you like line battles and heavy armour, because that's what you're in for.
I didn't actually do many line battles. Oh, well, actually, technically what we did was a line battle, but we got fucking wrapped.
But shall we talk about Saturday's battle first before we talk about our trauma?
I am talking about Saturday.
Oh, sorry, we all both did Jotun, didn't we?
Yeah, we both did Jotun. Anyway, Saturday.
I've been at a wedding all this weekend.
Well, boo-hoo. Cringe. Who goes to weddings?
Cringe. I know.
At least he had the decency to do it on a non-Empire weekend.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I got my friends to totally change the date and everything because I'm a good Empire friend.
Well done. I can't remember what I was doing. I was busy on fucking Saturday morning for some reason because I was late for getting to mustering, but...
Was it cleaning your floppy antlers?
Yeah, clean my floppy... No, don't wear floppy antlers when I'm an orc. But yeah, got ready to monster... Got in the EMU ready to go as usual.
I am missing being in an EMU at the moment.
You could have come to the Dawn
I know,
one.
but we were like all hungover and just getting ready. We're like, you know what? We'll just jog up.
You just give me silly little moog. You ever get magic items when you're a silly little moog? I got magic
items. My magic is personal. My personality enough.
That's how he keeps everyone away. That's how he defends the Empire. He stands in the middle of the battlefield and tries to talk to the enemy. And they just flee.
Sad.
But yeah, we got ready to go monstering. Got lined up. We were told there was something exciting going to happen, but we weren't allowed to know what it was. So what was your guys like mustering for battle?
I woke up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, 7:30, feeling great.
God, it's the first time for everything.
I know, right? Yeah.
No vomit?
Friday, I had my kettle of ale, but I had it early on, and then
you were saying to me that you'd learnt the secret.
I was like,
you
I've
figured
hacked
it out.
Empire. I know how to not wake up with a
I thought
hangover.
you were talking about a 7 a.m. Kettle of ale.
Wake up, get out of bed, grab your kettle, slug it back, let's go.
What kind of monster has
But boil it first
alcohol
and put
for
it in a
breakfast?
tea.
Yeah, of course. You can't be hungover if you're drunk, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, with Friday night being military meetings and spinning plates and things, like I was on the waters, and then woke up fresh as anything, boiled a kettle of water, went over to the Dread Shields camp to see if they wanted any hot water, and had kind of forgotten how early it was, and there were just 3 Dread Shields looking at me like, "Why are you so fucking happy?" Rook crawled out of his tent, squinted at me, and then basically belly rolled to Moorish. I was like, I'm just going to ignore that you're even here. You're too happy for me.
Probably because it is literally the first time you've probably not been hungover at Anvil.
Yeah, the birds were tweeting. My eyes were open. It was lovely.
Oh, dear.
How about you, Chloe?
Yeah.
Don't know.
You were there. You were just there, ready to kill.
I mean, I must have. I mean, of course, obviously.
Were you hungover a little bit on the morning, Chloe?
No.
Feeling good?
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever been the hungover the once. And that was Sunday last event, and that was horrific. So I'm never going to make that mistake again. Oh, I probably will. Anyway.
I mean, you're only 25. There's a lot of life left to do that.
Only 25. I feel like I'm about 85. Yeah, no, you woke up and I was like, oh, what time is it? Realised it was 7:30. And I was like, oh, I suppose I could get up. We got up, we just kind of potted, got ready.
Hot dogs for breakfast?
Always hot dogs for breakfast. Yeah.
Gotta get that sausage in your mouth first thing in the morning.
Always start my day off.
Nibble
right.
and nosh.
Wow. Yeah, we just kind of got ourselves ready, potted over to camp after your little adventures for the hot water. But yeah, we didn't really do too much whilst we were waiting.
I always liked where your little camp is because every time I go to do my morning Portaloo business, I get to wave and say good morning to you guys before battle.
Good morning, lads. I'm off for a shit. Catch you later.
Yeah, we love it as well. It makes our morning.
Good.
Just knowing that he's had his morning shit.
Yeah.
Thank God he's had his
And
healthy
also
bowel
knowing
movements.
which loo he's gone in to avoid.
Avoid that one.
Yeah, sometimes I can make those Portaloos like Chernobyl.
Most people there can.
But
So what
they're
did
not
you
great.
what did you guys know about the battle like going in? So, Alex, sorry, not to be rude, Chloe. Alex, did you know anything about the battle going in?
Well, actually, there's a first time for everything as well, because
Actually, no, what's
Chloe
going on?
actually went to the military meeting. So
Chloe looked
There
up to Alex then like, oh, Alex is going to stand in for me here. And then he just went bang, straight for the gut. First time for everything.
no, you actually knew more about what was going on than me. 'Cause all I knew was that there were bombs and someone meditating. But as we say, we were spinning plates and juggling, so we didn't. Not all the information went in. Chloe, however, actually soaked it up, didn't you?
I paid attention. Yes, I did.
A single tension.
Just a single tension. It was my very last tension. Yeah, so we kind of knew that we were going to be crafting these bombs and planting them. The locations were to be found whilst we were out there. It took I think it was 5 minutes to make each bomb, so there was the potential to make 12. We were aiming for 10, but we needed at least 5. So that was our objective. The Imperial Orcs had their own separate objective because there was meant to be a meditating orc somewhere out in the field, and if we were to find it, to feed it back to our commanders, to feed back to them so they knew the location. That wasn't anything to do with us as such. But yeah, that was what our objectives were.
I went to go and talk to my friends in the National Block because we were fighting opposite days and I like to just have a little hangout. And when someone mentioned, oh, we're dealing with orbs this morning, I thought they were talking about racist day orb.
The racist day
I
orb.
was like, oh, are we using that nuclear option? Then I found out, oh, no, it's just little bombs.
Death to the racist
Just
day
a little
orb.
bomb.
Just a little bomb.
Just a little bomb.
Just a little bomb.
So I've managed to kind of spoke to someone who saw like the mechanical sheet for the bombs, and it's very much like PDL, like it is a magical thing full of magic. You do not have gunpowder or explosives. It's magic. Please don't try and make black powder guns. It's not going to work. But I read between the lines. I like this is magic. Apparently they're really fucking cool.
Did you feel hyped when you're at the not Glory Square, mustering outside the Sentinel Gate?
No, yeah, we were really hyped at the gate. We were going in first. Where were we, Chloe?
Fourth.
Up fourth. But
That's
the Dread
quite-
Shields were going in first for Navarre, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, we kind of jumped the queue a bit
Oh.
because we saw. I'm 100% think I'm wrong with this, but I think we saw maybe possibly Blackthorn going in with another nation because maybe they're contracted or mercenary with them. I don't know, but we saw them, and I think we just kind of went, and then we were like, "Oh, we've jumped ahead of the league." I don't know.
It got messy.
Yeah, I think we all just kind of like poured in. I don't
We
really
were just
know.
keen to get our heads
It's,
stuck in
it's
there.
hard to organise 1,000 or so people.
And we
Yeah.
were stood right because we were going in first. We were stood at the front next to the gate. Like I was virtually leaning on the gate, waiting for everyone to go in. So we just kind of like fed in with people. I don't really know if we did jump the queue or not. If we did see people, I don't know.
It's not a huge deal because
I
you're
was
all,
going to say,
you're
yeah,
all
if you
going
jumped
through,
it a
aren't
little
you?
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like we did because when we were in there, the leader, what's her name?
What, Anwin?
Anwin. She was like, right, Dread Shields, you're this way, you're with me. So I didn't feel like there was a surprise that we were there early, if you know what I mean.
I don't honestly. I had no idea what was going on. I was just ready.
There we go. That's the classic.
There we
Chloe
go.
know. There she is.
And we're back to regular. It's fine.
Our deployment was quite simple. It was because I wasn't EMUing, so we didn't have any tasks other than being random mooks. We did a few drills beforehand. Keep getting people filing is because people is coming to Monster and like the EMUs, you've not got your set unit, got in a special objective. They're just using the numbers and the weapons they have to make a cohesive unit. So we were pole arms and shields.
Our objective was to draw you all up the field.
I think we did that very, very well.
We were told to stand out in a line, look at the Imperials, and get them to come towards you. So that was basically what we were told to do. So we extended like a big long line of Jotun, like I think it was like 2 lines of us standing there, and it was like, look at them, make them come to you.
But that was also our objective.
We were discussing this really funnily.
We have mutually beneficial objectives.
The funny thing was, after this all happened, we were both like, yeah, we got you to go to the field. And we were like, we were supposed to chase you up the field. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
We were just...
We both won?
Yeah. I think we'll get to like what was expected of us in a little bit. But yeah, for that particular point, it was just go get them, kill them, move on.
I think you were meant to get us through as a lot quicker than that point, though. Because that was about half an hour. We were just slowly moving back.
We were waiting for ages, basically, because we just stood there. I sat on the floor.
Yeah.
At one point, I was just sat there. So many people. Right. This is Morgan's pro tip as a guy who's not even done 2 years of Empire. If you're monstering, you've got your orc mask. Don't put it on until they tell you to. They will tell you when it's time to put your mask on. Because when people put their mask on, they're like, why are you doing this to yourself? You're going to be running around in this fucking thing for 2 hours. So I just have the mask in my hand for like, and then eventually it's like, Imperial's on the field. I'm like, finally. I'm like, stood up, put the fucking latex mask on.
Oh, also remember your pre-battle stretches, people. They're important. You don't want to bust your hammies. Or get tendonitis in your foot.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Good rate. Do you know what? My favourite Jotun battle.
That was easily my favourite battle. By far.
Yeah.
Both days I thought were fantastic Jotun battles.
Oh yeah, Sunday was type 2 fun. But yeah, no, Saturday was like as a Jotun, was the most fun I have had in a fight.
Yeah, it was a lot more dynamic, I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
I got my first execute.
Hey! So what was your guys' perspective? Because the monsters basically, we can probably talk what we did because we basically met you.
Yeah.
So we can basically just say where we were at during your narrative of the battle, which is far more interesting as the players. So what was the battle like from your perspective?
The second we got onto the field, we were met with Jotun and we went to push them. They managed to split us, the Dread Shields, they managed to split us in 2. And myself and another Navari who I don't know who they are, but we both went down and the Jotun line kept getting pushed back, so we kept getting pushed back. I think the ref moved us along about 4 times before the ref was like, look, just stay where you are because it's not fair to you. You're getting pushed further and further and people can't get to you. But yeah, so we went down within the first 5 minutes of us fighting.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, within the first 5 minutes, and I couldn't see anybody. I couldn't see anyone apart from Jotun. And I was like, well, fuck.
Shit.
I was like, I am going to die.
I didn't even notice that. It's amazing how little you see when you're at the front. You think you see more, but you really don't.
Yeah, so I was just sat and I kind of looked over at this guy that was on the floor with me like, well, I hope this isn't your first event. I was like, fuck. I was there planning my next character, the names, outfit ideas.
Hell.
Yeah, I'd fully accepted in that point that Neve was going to die. And I was like, this is really shit. This is like the worst
that
way.
That would have been karma for you joking about it at the last event when you were like, oh, guess who's got to go to God?
Yeah.
I'd have been like, well, don't make jokes like that then.
Yeah. So it was really fucking shit. I think I was on... I got retrieved, thankfully. But by the time... Because I saw some of the Dread Shields poke round the other side of a bush and I was like, oh my God, thank fuck. And obviously, because I was like, I was down, I can't really shout, but I was like, please see me, please see me, please see me. And they did. I was like, thank you. And our wonderful healer, Murdoch, came and got me with... I was on 28 seconds remaining of my bleed out time. So pretty freaking close. So he got me, dragged me to the side, sat me up against a tree, and he's like, right, I'm going to give you something, but you can't tell anyone I've given it to you, type of thing. I was like, right, okay. Gave me this little fizz rep, I pretended to take it, blah, 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 and we did a little bit of role playing with it. Then he gives me this card. I open said card, obviously I didn't know how to do it because I'd never opened one of these. I was like, does it just rip
Oh, is it
open?
one of those lammy ones?
Yeah, I was like, does it just rip? I didn't know what I'm doing.
You have to like tear the tab and then pull.
It didn't pull, and like we were both like shaking because it was like a really fucking intense moment.
Yeah,
like we were both our hands were shaking, and it didn't rip and pull. We just kind of had to like like peel it apart. We were like, shit. So we, after much fucking around, I managed to open it, and I see the words bite. I was like,
Beautiful.
I was like, oh, okay. And he was just kind of like, or he was just kind of like staring at me, or Murdoch was just kind of like staring at me. And we had this little like OC moment. He was like, OC, he was like, this is payback. He was like, I hope you're okay with this. Like, tell me if you're not, because like, I don't want this to ruin your game. And I was like, dude, totally fine. I'm so fucking game.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, thank God. They were like, yeah, this is really good. Like, oh, good. I was worried that it would be too far. And I'm like, nah, it's fine. It's fine. So obviously I read like the side effects and stuff. And basically the only things I really took from it were aggression and impatient. There were other things like other side effects, but I was like, aggression, impatient,
Perfect
can
for the
do.
battlefield, yeah.
I was like, can
Perfect
do.
for Neve.
I was like, yeah,
So
this is fine.
emphasizing your true spirit.
Oh yeah, I was literally just myself times 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, we managed to catch up with the others and had a little shout with them. And I was like, what the fuck took you so long? I almost fucking died. And you didn't even give a shit. You're fucking useless, the lot of you.
Did you get a cleave off?
Huh?
Did you get a cleave off? Should have cleaved one of them in Fury.
Oh, I should have done. I did not think.
Fucking
No.
cleave the shit out of them on the battlefield. That would have gone down fine.
Oh yeah, just cleave my own. So we just kind of like fighting. I think that we're at the point where
I just
we
imagine
started to
you
push.
running around up and down screaming like really fast, just back and forward on the battlefield. Like,
well, that's kind of what did happen at a point. There was a lot of pacing. There was a lot of shouting. There was a lot of, I'm so fucking sick of standing around. I can see them. Like, why are we just stood here? Why are we not doing something so fucking boring? God, I could take it.
Is bite just called being a changeling? Like it just like this is
being
like
a particularly angry change.
I was gonna just a changeling exposed to Druge miasma because I just feel like this is my every experience when angry.
So like Neve's like it a lot, but she was just a lot more vocal about it, I think, this time.
Yeah.
But so I think there was a point where we'd fought some Jotun kind of in the middle of the field, and then I think we pushed up to the top where we found you guys. I think it was all kind of like a big blur because I was so focused on this role play that I kind of don't really remember a lot of the details now.
Yeah, just
there's
got
only like
into it.
there's only like set little points that stand out, but I think after a little while, I think we had met you at the top of the field at that point.
How was your approach then, Alex? You coming down the hill?
At what point did you
across the
see
field.
Neve running around going, fuck you all?
I didn't notice anything until we were in the woods. When we were fighting in the woods, you were shouting something like, why are we going to wait for Rook? Let's just get in there. Let's get stuck in. And, like anti-orders type talk. And I remember hearing it and I was thinking, I mean, I know Chloe's a bit of a hothead. And I know she's being Neve right now. But it doesn't even seem like something Neve or Chloe would say. This is a bit strange.
Yeah.
And then I started to think, oh, hang on a minute here. And then there was a point I saw you and Murdoch, you like put your arms around each other and scuttled off to a gate. I was like, what the fuck? and then this little like blue vial came out and you had a sip. And I thought that you're just having booze. I thought it was, like
Like
people
an
sell
OC
like
moment.
shots and or even icy, just a bit of alcohol, like to keep you going through the fight. I didn't really know what was going on. That was
And
just
then it
what
all
first came to
clicked
mind.
when you heard her.
And then, after I heard you kind of like freaking out and shouting and things like that, I started to cotton on. And I think at one point during the battle, I was getting healed at the same time as you. And I said to you, like, well, what's going on? And then you told me. And you were like, oh, no, it's bite. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I told you, OC. Obviously, like, Ollie was like, don't say anything. I was like, no, I won't. I was like, but I would tell you just in case because you know me. I didn't know if you were going to pull me aside and be like, what are you doing? So, and I tell you everything. So yeah, we kind of met you guys at the top. Like, what was it like just seeing all of us kind of descend upon you?
We held for as long as we could.
The fighting really did not stop.
No, it was constant.
We kind of we were hit by a wall. We were kind of like skirmishing a little bit as we moved our way up the field, right? And I felt like a lot of what we were exposed to was Varushka and the Brass Coast.
We got a lot of Navarre as well.
Highguard as well.
Yeah, we got everyone.
We got fucked. Like,
Except the League. I didn't see the League marching down that way. They must have been in the woods.
Yeah, no, Highguard were hitting us pretty intense. And again, like, it was like Freeborn Varushkans kind of hanging around. There was one point when there was 3 isolated Varushkans. There was about 6 of us going, and we were like, we could fucking do it. And then they realised, I'm like, oh! And they kind of pulled back.
I did a first thing this time as well. I forgot I actually have a bleed count as a monster. Like, wait a second, I can roleplay this and not just go,
Yeah. Bleed out on the floor.
I had the possibility of getting back up. I forgot this.
Exactly. But we got, basically, long story short, we were firing away at the field. Eventually, it then became Navarre, basically, entirely. I don't know when that happened. It was very gradual. It was at one point, Highguard and Varushka were all I could see, and then slowly but surely, it was a wall of green.
Brass Coast were there heavily as well.
Yeah, they were. Well, that was when we were fighting. I saw you guys at several points. You off your absolute fucking rocker, Chloe. But it was good fun. As always, trying to get an opportunity to get killed by you. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to edge my way over to where you are, but it's not fucking happening.
We were very packed in like sardines at that point.
We fucking got to the top gate, right at the top of the field, and I turn around and I see that we've got Navarre, Brass Coast, and we just sandwiched, and we're like trying to push out. But you know when you're like, it was that moment when I was like, cool, we're fighting to the death. That's what this fucking is. Yeah. And eventually you guys crushed us so much the refs just went, they're dead.
Yeah.
And then people were like, we were like, you're all cheering. And it was really funny because, again, we got in and we were all cheering because we had the objective to drag you as far up as possible. You had the objective to push us as far up as possible. So everyone was just like, hey!
No, like, I saw you two. It's like, you know what? I should stay in this Brass Coast position with my Helba, but it's more strategic. But it's more fun to try and push it over here.
Oh, it was so good.
Like, I think every monstering every battle you've been on, I've come across you as some form of Jotun or Yagara and gone for your legs.
Yeah.
There you go. I was trying to get to Chloe more than you this time because she has nice exposed little legs.
I have leather legs.
You've got more area to get to than Alex with his shield, though.
Yeah, I learned this time around more than ever that to squat. I mean, my legs and arse was absolutely ruined by the end of the event. Well, my glutes, should I say. But yeah, to squat and cover like my let me just clarify.
Absolutely ruined your ass this weekend.
Yeah.
Man, it's fucking jealous, honestly.
Do the fans know that Alex actually fights in assless chaps?
The dread shorts go, come on.
It's what raises the morale.
That's why they got killed.
That's Navarre's ass.
But no, went for Alex. But I didn't know if you recognised me, so I was like, you see that one there? She's a psycho bitch. We need to take that fucker down.
I heard that.
I didn't realise it was you.
Because we had that banter like outside the podcast. I'm like, you know what? I want that one. That one's fucking crazy. Get her.
I thought that was someone saying it to me because they'd heard me screaming and shouting. I had no idea that was you.
But I realised it was too late for us to push back and do anything. I just wanted to make it a thematic thing, not have a load of people specifically go to you, but more like, hi, Chloe, it's me.
Oh, sorry.
You fucking psycho bitch. Come here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so funny. But
It's
then we basically after we all died and got off the field, we then re-entered a little bit later.
Yeah.
To skirmish a little bit. Again, our repeat tactic of trying to get you to where we
were. The ducklings.
We were the duck. So the leader of our unit was quite a small femme person.
Yeah.
With quite a high, small voice. And they were like, I am the duckling.
You fear me.
You fear my name. It sends fear through your veins. I am a powerful, strong individual.
We will bring the quackening.
However, I cannot shout very loudly. So if any of you hear me say a command, shout it much louder.
We might have broken their command quite early because we were meant to stay where we were. And then we saw Highguard come at the back of that. Let's go and do that.
Oh, you know what? No, because we were with them. We were with her as we were going out. And then other people told us to stay where we were. And we were like, no, we have to go this way. And then we were absolutely fucking flat.
It was amazing, though, because not many of the squad came. So there was about 15 of us facing down Highguard and Navarre. And me fighting one-on-one with a couple of people after a little bit. But then seeing you having 3 Navari on your ass, whilst you have all 4 hero points and unstoppable.
It was fucking brilliant because it was like very much like I'm by myself, Jotun Warrior. Jotun Warrior's going to fucking Jotun Warrior, and 3 Navari ran up to me. And again, so I had all my unstoppables left, which
you
was
had sword and shield, so you got
sword
unstoppable.
and shield. So I had my full hits, and then I think it was 3 unstoppables. So that's another 9 hits. So I had like something like 20 hits basically. So I'm standing there and they kept knocking me down and then like doing the unstoppable roar and cleaving through. And there was just this real fucking cool moment where I'm surrounded on all sides by Navarre. They're whacking the shit out of me. And I think it was the third one. I just hear one of them, fucking hell, as they keep going. Then eventually they grab me on the floor. One of the Navarre slits my throat and then it's like, that was really good, mate. Do you want some water? They said to me as I'm just like lying there on the floor, like, yes, please.
Oh, that's nice.
You did teach one of them how to loot as
Yeah,
well.
one of them went to loot me, and I was like, they were like, can I loot you? I was like, well, yeah, if you spend 30 seconds looting me, it's like, I'll execute you again. I'm like,
Don't worry about that, mate.
no. I'm dead, but you have to spend 30 seconds looting my corpse. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, fine. Then
It's good educational experience.
Yeah, exactly. I had to untie my ribbon on my sword, but yeah.
I was very bemused when I was taken down because I was just sat there upright, obviously still alive, like, you all right there, Imperials? These Navari just keep walking past me. Like, this is usual
you're
Navarre.
just there bleeding out like, all right, lads.
One of you not going to come and execute me? You lot are usually kind of psycho with that. Right, I'll just wait here then.
We were
There's a Jotun with Nietzsche's accent.
Like that zombie at the end of the D&D movie when they forgot to ask it a final question.
Someone eventually did come and execute me. I call her, well, typical Navari, no fucking honour.
well, we were explicitly told to not execute. They were
You
like,
actually listened to orders this time.
it was. We're telling you not to execute, but Alwyn was like, I don't want to see you executing.
Wink,
but
wink, nudge, nudge.
If I don't see you doing it, then no.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
So-
we got told every time you execute one of us, we should report, and it's like sin, we should report it to commanders.
Yeah, to say that Navarre have been up to their usual shady shit.
So after I think we pushed away from you guys, we went into the woods. And yeah, we were just kind of fighting. We were fighting in the woods and we pushed the fort. But there was a point where we were fighting and there was some Jotun that had like kind of like pincered us and we were like pinned up against like some trees and some bushes. And I must say, for a lot of the Jotun that we were fighting were like really not pulling their blows.
Yeah.
Like it was a really like OC hard fight. But there was just this one point where I was getting hit repetitive, like there wasn't a second in between each hit. It was
just
smack. I was like, I'm not counting half of these.
Well, yeah, it's only 1 per second anyway.
Yeah. And I was pinned up against a tree and like people were like I couldn't physically move. And I was looking behind me because I was trying to see if I could move. So I wasn't even facing the person. I had my hands like on the tree to kind of move around and they were still hitting me.
Were there any refs nearby?
I don't think so. But there was a point where I'd already spoken to two refs and I'd already said to 4 players by this point. This was about halfway through the battle and 2 refs had already said that they was going to speak to players and I'd spoken to 4 players ready to say pull your blows or like just calm it, like that's too much.
Yeah.
But it was this point like I was getting so frustrated. I mean, I was really hyped up anyway because I was role playing being angry. So I think I was angry too.
A little bit.
That's
does
my
affect
secret.
you.
But
I'm always angry.
I am always angry. But yeah, so this point. But like I said, I wasn't even looking at the person that was hitting me because I was stuck on a tree, like I was trying to move. And I got so fucking annoyed that I copped. But like, it was like OC and IC. But I threw my swords down on the floor and was like, will you just fucking chill? And I threw my swords down on the floor and I just walked off. Like I pushed through the people that were fighting like behind me. I just like pushed past them because I was like, I need my head to, I need air. And I just stood there and it was about 5-6 seconds and I was like, and I was really fucking annoyed. And then I went back and picked up my swords and kind of found everyone again. I was like, that really pissed me off. I was like, but like IC, it was fine, but like OC, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I was just getting
It
so
sounds like
annoyed.
a really frustrating, like to be pinned up against a tree basically and just being whacked. Like,
Yeah.
I can imagine why that would.
And they weren't pulling blows either. Like it was.
They were
it
fucking.
was-
It sounds like they're fucking drum rolling you as well.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is explicitly useless and really shitty.
Yeah, so
Like-
I didn't count the majority of the hits for it, but like I got really annoyed.
Again,
like I said,
there's
there was
only one
the,
hit
the
per
hits you
second
can
you
take.
can
The hits you can
take.
take from one person are. So
Yeah.
like if it's
in
one person
between
just,
those, I'd had two others
yeah.
in between those.
If it's one
Yeah.
person go, it don't fucking matter.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, toof, toof, toof.
That's just
And it was-
a dick move.
But like when I went down at the beginning of the fight, when I almost died, I was lying on the ground and there were two that were wailing on me as I was on the ground, and the ref was like, I was like, whoa, and the ref was like,
But
don't.
like, you were already down. Right?
Yeah, I was already lying on the ground. The ref was like, oh, don't worry. He was like, I saw that. And he went and he grabbed the two of them by the shoulders, was like, that's not okay. You don't do that. And like, it shouted at him. And I was
Good.
like, okay, thanks,
Yeah,
ref.
Good.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. It was that same ref that was like, when the Jotun line was pushing and me and this other Navarro that were down, we were obviously moving along with them because we didn't want to get crushed. They were like, look, just stay here. Like, I'll make sure that they step around you. They're like, it's not fair because no one's going to come get you up if you keep moving. So I was like, okay, thanks. But yeah, so we were in the woods and I copped. We were stood by the fort for a while. I think it must have been, must have something was going on with the bomb. I don't know if there was one that was being delivered or one that was being made. I don't know, but there was a lot of commotion. And I was like, I can see them right there. Why can't we just go? And they were like, well, we have to wait for Rook. And I was like, well, I don't give a fuck what Rook says. Rook doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
I could see them right
Sass.
there. I was like,
Which is very not Neve.
no, not at all.
At one point, we were told, "All right, everyone, file out. They failed the objective. We're gonna fucking middle fingers and tell them to like jeer them as they walk off." And then we heard bang as the bombs went off, and they went, "Never mind, they did it." And then we got told to sit back down.
We were aiming for 5, but we needed 5. We were aiming potentially for 12, but 10 was the goal, and we got 10.
Nice.
You came. That was very close call. You just about pulled it off.
Yeah, fuck it. It sounds from the reports I've heard from the people who were carrying the bombs, it sounds like it was fucking sick. Like
That
really
sounds
intense.
I wanted to carry a bomb so bad. When we were at the military council the night before, me and Rocky were just there like, we're going to get a bomb, we're going to get a bomb. Like, we're going to do it.
Let
We
me
were just
hold
there
the
like fist
bomb.
bumping. We were just there fist bumping like, yeah, there's going to be us. Like, we're going to get
Let
a
me
fucking
hold
bomb.
racist orb.
Shut up. The racist day orb.
I really enjoyed the battle. I think it was definitely my favourite battle out of all of them.
Yeah.
There was an amazing moment, which is probably one of my favourite moments from all the events, where we were fighting, and there was like an paramedics ambulance bit. I don't think anyone was injured, but they were based there. So a ref had come over and said, right, this group, which was essentially the Dread Shields and a few others, we're going to split you in half so you can go around either side. And we were like, okay, fine. Thinking that we were going to rejoin on the other side, didn't happen. And the Dread Shields got split in half, which we don't do very well when we're split in half, apparently. But it was also because we were completely surrounded on all sides because everybody was skirmishing. There were people 360 degrees around you. And there was a point where we were trying to hold this line against 3 times as many Jotun as us. So as we were backing off, because we knew we were going to get slaughtered, Ronan got into a bit of an argument with this leaguish person who was saying, no, keep going, you're supposed to be heroes, go on and fight. And Ronan was like, well, yeah, but we're not idiots. Like, we'd get wiped out. There's no point. So we were like backing off, and you could see these Jotun advancing, getting more confident and more confident. And we were looking a bit scared. And then we just heard, Dread Shields! And the other half of the Dread Shields had flanked somehow, gone round the back, and I see Rook and Rocky, and they just start going, ooh, 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 and like raising their... So I was like waving at them with my sword, like, yeah! And then obviously the Jotun in front of us see our demeanor change from terrified and backing away to fucking come on then. And like walking towards them and advancing. And we just sandwiched them. We just sandwiched this like
Sandwich of death.
Dread Shields on one side, Dread Shields on the other, yeah. A nice Dread Shield panini.
There was a point, I don't think I was around for this, but I don't know what happened, but Rook went down, and when we've spoken to the guys since, they were like, I've never seen so many people flood
It was nuts.
like that, but I wish I'd seen it. So yeah, we could keep talking about every little bit that happened during the battle, but we've still got a lot more of Saturday to get through. So
It's just Saturday morning, guys.
yeah. So
Well, that's your Saturday morning. I've not talked about mine yet.
Oh, poor Kerry.
Yeah, not that I do much when you're at battle, but
When will my husband return from war?
when is Nietzsche coming back? If he doesn't come back, he can't pay me. He needs to come back.
That is
Actually,
true.
you need to pay me for being your housekeeper. I think that should be a thing.
I
You're
agree.
fired.
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, damn. Well, that's got me told.
If anybody's in the market for a new housekeeper, we can recommend one.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I didn't really do much while you guys were at battle. I was contemplating monstering this weekend, but I decided not to do it on the Saturday because our friend, one of the jackdaws, Lana, and I, we've been working on a puppet show. This is like when I've mentioned in previous podcasts the secret plans that we were planning. It was a smuppet show, so a smut puppet show for the jackdaw party, and we'd commissioned puppets of some of the jackdaws and written a whole play. And we have been commissioned to perform it again or perform a similar play for a different group now, I think.
That's
actually.
cool.
Or at least I think we're being commissioned to do it. But I need to meet up with Lana at Nietzsche's house at some point and have a lot of wine and write a new play. But anyway, we were just sort of going through that and preparing sort of like who would be saying what and sort of thing. And we went on another trip to the orc camp to have a lovely coffee and try and find some orc smut. Which again, still unsuccessful. Maybe next time. I don't know.
Do you know what? I've not come across much orc smut in my time.
No, well, that's why we
But
thought we'd
again,
seek it out.
I'm not much of a purveyor of smut.
You're not a
to be fair.
Yeah.
smut hunter.
No, I'm
got a
not.
smutty
As much as
boy.
I've bought many pieces of smut in the past, but I don't really ever look at them.
I
or
only
I've not
own
read any of it. I just buy it and like, yes, it's smut. That's funny.
I only own one piece of smut, and it's of Radic of the Crimson Reapers. And it's even more hilarious now because it got water damage, so it looks like he's got some terrible pox.
It does
Yeah.
look pretty wrong. It does not look good at all.
Speaking of orc smut, did I tell you that, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but Rocky went into the orc camp, I think unarmed, without any armour on, and asked for the casino that he's opening if there were any orc strippers. He asked this, I think, to quite an important person within the Imperial Orcs, and somehow got away with his life.
I was just going to say, the orcs aren't as tough as they think they are, but that's just me putting a fucking
I think
mark
it's
on my
more
head.
of a they're not as like violent as people say they are. Like if you go in without
Yeah.
their weapon,
We met a lovely Imperial Orc Saturday.
they are lovely. All the Imperial
I've met
Orcs
lovely
I've met
Imperial
have
Orcs.
been
They're all-
lovely.
Well, this was the first one I've ever spoken to, other than like just
Mana.
buying a raffle ticket. No, it was
Other than Mana.
other than Mana. Yeah, I forgot. His name was Bleak Shield. He came over while me and Neve were cooking up some sausages,
Yeah.
selling some snags, and we had a lovely chat.
Is he the one that was showing you his house when we went on
Yeah,
Sunday?
he's got like an
That's
awesome
a really cool tent.
ritual tent, and it's got like fabric
Oh,
hanging out the
no,
front.
I met him as well. Yeah, no, I remember now.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Yeah.
Burns incense and things. He has a jackdaw. OC. He has a pet jackdaw. And he went up to Chloe, well, to us, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, I was talking to Nietzsche because I've got a pet jackdaw." And we initially thought,
He meant one of the
which one?
jackdaws.
Which one?
Which one got kidnapped?
I asked and went, oh, which one?
yeah, like in my mind, the orc camp have a jackdaw on a leash.
Are we going back to your fetish thing? We are not a
Oh,
fetish
God, it
club,
comes
guys.
back again.
Said jackdaw was nude in my mind as well.
Which
Do you have a
jackdaw was
particular
nude in
jack-
your mind?
It was just a basic jackdaw. I can't really describe.
There's only one jackdaw I know who would be vaguely available to that kind of thing.
Let's
Who
not
would you
mention
say?
this on the
I won't name and
podcast.
shame him, but
I want to know like
Then tell us after
off the
episode.
podcast.
there's one that gives me sex Kikabeo vibes. I think they've actually implicitly said that to me as well. So I wouldn't.
I need to know.
Well, any of you jackdaws listening, it
one
could
of
be
you,
you.
one of you gives that vibe to Morgan.
Yeah, I think they've actually just propositioned me. I got propositioned by quite a few leaguers this weekend. I clearly give off the vibe of someone that needs to get laid. But yeah, so they didn't have a pet jackdaw. They had a pet jackdaw.
An actual bird, yeah.
Yeah.
Much to our disappointment. But yeah, sorry, Kerry, you were saying about your Saturday while we were all out fighting.
Yeah, as I say, I think that's pretty much it. We went to there's a little coffee shop in the Orc camp, which we've been to a couple of times now, and I noticed that they sold potions there. So I asked if she wanted to buy any of my herbs, and she did buy a couple of them. And then I knew sort of the selling price, and then I was like spreading that information later on when people were like, "I need to sell these herbs," and I was like, "Well, I just want cerulean mazarine, but anything else, I know where you can sell it. I'll take you."
I know that my Saturday was incredibly relaxed. Kind of got back from
Yeah.
monstering. I think if we talk like probably the best thing to do is to talk about like highlights, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
So it was very relaxed. I spent a lot of Friday, I spent a lot of Saturday looking for people. But one thing that happened, I remember Viridian getting escorted back to Dawn.
When did he do his ritual? Was it the Friday night or the
Friday, first thing Friday.
I was going to
But
say.
he got escorted back to Dawn by the Navarre egregores with some repercussions. I'll let you all find out and play. I think one of my big highlights of the day though was that Tristan's got two troubadours.
Two
Troubadours, if you will.
Troubadour Tristan.
Troubadour Tristan. One who sings. Troubadour. This is troubadours.
Bum, 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 bum.
One who tells stories and one who sings songs. And my troubadour, whose name I don't have permission to say the name on the podcast, so I won't. But the one who tells stories, basically there was a storytelling competition where they're supposed to talk about somebody who was particularly what was it? It was either glory or love, something very Dawnish.
Something Dawn.
Tell a story about it, and stood up, and there was like several people did entries, and the winner would win. The person they spoke about would win the magic items up for the competition. And so he went ahead and did like a retelling of the story. I think I told it was not last event, it was the event before, first one this year, where I went in that skirmish and ended up having to drop my short sword and shield to drag the skirmish leader back. And he did the most amazing retelling of that story. There was so much like passion in it and power. It was absolutely amazing to watch. It's a crime that he lost. I am furious. They definitely should have won. But it was really beautiful. We sat in the sun. Tristan got to listen to someone say how cool he was, and then gave him a big hug, which was really lovely. It was a really nice it was just like a really cool moment of kind of like having a troubadour who kind of is like bigging up the knight that they're following was a really cool moment. Really enjoyed that. And then more stuff went on throughout the day.
I know my highlight of the day.
Oh, go
actually. I think we were bringing the chairs over I was bringing a chair over to your camp because we were setting up to watch the archery range because we knew that something was happening very soon after. They were just doing a little private lesson with like the guy at the archery range was just showing some little kids how to use the bows and arrows or the crossbow, which was very cute. And then we were like sat there waiting because we were like, not that we're sat watching the children, but we know the jackdaws are about to turn up. So we pulled up some chairs and sat there having a bit of a drink as well. I got some of the Sea of Sarvos drink from one of the league.
Well, that's just delicious.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I
What is it?
bought a bottle to bring home.
It's a mix of a lot of different alcohols.
Yeah, it's 5 different spirits mixed with like lemonade and something else, and it's like bright blue. But it's delicious. Definitely try some if you're on the field or you see it. They're next to the jackdaws actually, so I kept walking past them. Hence why I got like 2 bottles of it in the end. But then we got to go and shoot at the jackdaws, and unfortunately it was a crown per shot, which not that it's not worth that. Definitely, I appreciate that it's real life damage or real in character.
Because apparently
damage.
blunted weapons no longer
you
exist.
can't blunt arrows, which kind of makes sense.
This is true. You can't blunt arrows.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. They do it at LARP every event.
To all of a sudden be like, these foam-tipped arrows. These foam-tipped arrows are actually foam-tipped arrows, whereas these foam-tipped arrows are real arrows.
I love the tagline at the bottom of the poster. For legal reasons, these arrows aren't blunted.
Yeah. No, but so Tom was there in his full plate armor along with some other jackdaws. And what holidays do you go on where you get to shoot at your boyfriend with a bow and arrow? Like, honestly, they were all doing little sassy dances.
Yeah, I got them to put the shields down so it'd be a bit more fair.
Yeah, you were all just doing little sassy dances and doing shimmies and stuff. And I didn't actually hit you, unfortunately. I got the dummy that you were stood next to, if that counts for anything.
Oh, I had some fun with that dummy. He's like, I've got Modesto here. I'm desperate. I'll kill him. I swear to God, my virtue.
I tried to psych you out by firing to your left, at the other jackdaws, and then the second one fired it off to the left, and then the third one, while I was looking to the left, I just saw you in my peripherals. I turned and shot, and there's only 2 places on Nietzsche.
For that battle, for the sake of that game, it was like I left my arms and legs uncovered, so it was a bit more fair.
Oh, I thought you had. Did you not have places on your arms?
Varied bottoms. I didn't have my whole arms covered with my usual armor.
So I saw just the tops of his arms are available, that or your legs. And I thought the arms would be easier because it wouldn't move as much. And managed to impale you straight in the shoulder. It was so
hilarious.
happy.
It was brilliant.
When do you get to impale Nietzsche for free?
Well, you didn't.
Well, you paid like £1 for that
Well,
shot.
for a
so-
crown, yeah.
Yeah.
But no repercussions.
But they also took trades for herbs, so I got rid of some of my Truva vein, which I've got mountains of, because everyone who has a herb garden has got a mountain
God,
of Truva
everyone's
vein.
got mountains of Truva vein.
Yeah. I was like, well, you take 3 Truva vein in place of 2 crowns, and he was like, yes, go for it.
No, it was hilarious. I think we did a great job of making it a bit of fun. We didn't just stand there. We were like doing video game music, like spinning around, doing songs and seductive dances, like
Seductive
ba-da-da-da,
dances.
ba-da-da-da. Some were in armor, some weren't. I was cowardly and wore my armor because I'm not ready for Nietzsche to die in a stupid accident like this.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious when another jackdaw who wasn't armored got hit straight in the chest. It was like, what the fuck have you done, you mad people? You're killing my boys. Why would
Yeah,
you
'cause
do this?
we
And it was
were-
really hammed up
You
acting.
signed up for it.
We weren't the only ones queuing up. We weren't even the first to go, and we were sat there waiting for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, like, people were eager to shoot you.
Oh, yeah. Between everyone, I think we raised over 5 thrones in the
Nice.
space of that. I think the event was meant to be an hour, but because of something else happening in the interim, it was knocked down to 40 minutes, maybe half an hour.
Was it just a money-making scheme?
Fun.
Was it just to make money?
Yeah.
I think it was to get
money-making
publicity
scheme?
for the archery range.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, as in, like, you guys did it, so you got paid.
We got a set fee
Yeah,
for each of us,
okay.
and then we got 50% of each shot fired at us as danger pay.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
Ooh, that'd have been quite lucrative, I imagine.
It was very lucrative, but it wasn't long-lasting lucrativity.
Let's go with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of other things that went on during the day.
Okay.
Just say that money went very quickly.
We did quite well financially. Sold a few more snags Saturday. Sold the last of them, actually. Sold out on Saturday.
Spoiler, I spent very, 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 very little of the money. Alex spent the majority of the money.
Saturday night got a bit expensive. We'll get into that shortly. But yeah, I spent some of my own profit. I mean, can you believe it? It was good,
my
though.
God.
I know. I had a great time.
Spreading the prosperity.
There was one bad thing that happened while selling snags, though. These lovely sweet kids came up to the stall and said, do you want any hot dogs or anything? Made sure it was okay with their parents.
Chase them
and
away
stuff.
with your pincers. Get those kids out of
Get
there.
out of here, you.
Kick them.
And as I was selling them, I took a swig of my ale. And as I was just about to swallow, I felt this like on my tongue. And I thought, that's a fucking wasp.
Oh, Jesus.
So as these lovely, sweet kids are there, like, oh, can I help myself to the sauerkraut? I'm just like, spat a mouthful of ale out onto the ground. Not a full mouthful.
To be fair, I don't think they even noticed that you did that until you apologised for it. They were like, what were you talking
Yeah,
about?
well, I'd forgotten that they
Because
were
you did
there.
it on like the other side of the table.
Yeah, and so I spat
well.
this wasp out and it was on the ground and they were like, what's happened? I said, I had a wasp in my mouth. They said, is it still alive? And I stamped on it.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I got to have a nice bit of league history today, on the Saturday as well, because we got to introduce the parade of the Apulian Orcs arriving into Anvil and the Salt Lord leading them. Now, because IC and OC must separate, Urizen are being salty little bitches.
I can't believe you would be so mean to our Urzay listeners.
Do we have any?
We
Does
had
any
an
listeners?
Urzay guest.
Comment down below if
How
you're
do
an
we know
Orsani
who-
listener.
Comment down below if you're Urzay, and this is I'm giving you IC permission to stab up Nietzsche for what he's about to say.
Well, this is all known OC.
Yeah, sure,
No cheating.
yeah. Kill him, just kill him, it's
We had to go and send a load of bodyguards, jackdaws, reapers, Haldagans, seawolves, to bodyguard the Apulians in because some Urzeni had been like, oh, we're going to curse them as soon as they arrive.
Sorry. Okay, this is wandering into IC opinions, but you've said yours. They've had their home stolen from beneath their feet.
We didn't
Because-
steal it.
No, the Grendel did. You can't be too upset with them about this, OC.
But why are they have a go at the Grendel?
They were going to.
Tom.
You were defending them.
Tom, if someone stole your armor and all your LARP gear and then gave it to someone else, or if someone else took it from that person,
They
would
gave
you
it to
would
me,
you want it
and
back?
and they gave it to me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but this was I didn't steal it.
Yeah, but you'd still be a bit annoyed that you kept it with and didn't give it
It's
back
so
to you, though,
funny
wouldn't
to
you?
me. It was like, yeah, no, you're right. They should go for them. They were trying to. You defended them.
Sorry, everyone.
No,
I
it's
think
fine.
this is the event that I've had most ICOC bleed, and it's really confusing me.
Oh, it was so fun.
But it was amazing
Oh, it's
marching,
a crazy game. I love it.
marching the Apulian Orcs into the center of the league. Once you all get there, every leaguer with a weapon raises it into the sky and salutes our new Apulian friends. I gather in the center with some other dignitaries. I think pretty much all the league turned up for this. And it was seeing the egregores quiz the Salt Lord on what it means to be a leaguer, what does our half magic do, what do certain virtues mean to leaguers, what do you see in the mirror, what does a ring do, that sort of type of thing. And it was great to see. It's like, this feels like a big turning point in Empire the game, and I'm so glad to be there. Like, you see pictures from way before we started, like the Empress's coronation, for example, or the Orcs getting their first bit of land. It felt like this is a benchmark achievement.
Yeah.
Like you guys getting the Barons last time, for
Yeah.
example. This is the biggest bit of league game I've had since joining.
It is very cool, and they looked awesome.
They did.
Like, I kept seeing them around. Like the crew that were playing the Apulian Orcs looked sick. It was really good.
Me and Lana went up to the Salt Lord, and Lana invited them to go to the party. Unfortunately, they were too busy to go. Don't know if that's because they're NPC crew or just is that showing too much favoritism? Oh, we're going to this guild. Do, but we did invite a few of the Apulian Orcs. I welcomed them with open arms and said, the Jackdaws are here to help you settle in any way we can.
You heard it here first, folks. Jackdaws are in bed with the Grendel.
No. The Apulians.
Yeah, sure. How audacious it would be for them to return back to the Grendel.
The audacity. I think some little Urizeni got through and managed to curse one or two of them.
Oh, good for them, honestly.
They need a
They
win,
need a
don't
win,
they?
don't they, Urizen? Bless them.
Urizen just feels like that, like one kid you always get on those shows, like the nerdy one who can just never get a break.
Don't say this too loudly. Urizen will bring a curse down upon you like nothing you've ever seen before.
I mean, Millhouse's hair is blue.
Urizen Millhouse.
No, we can't bully Urizen on the podcast. This is so rude.
I bullied Wintermark on the podcast and Highguard.
Oh dear.
But what an event so far. I
it
don't
was
think we're
crazy.
going to get through Saturday in this one episode.
I have, for me, a lot of my Saturday kicked off around 6, but that might be better for next week, do we think?
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah,
I've still
awesome.
got a 5-way to talk about, so we'll.
Five-way.
Wow.
Oof.
On
They're,
that-
they're illegal at Empire. 3 ways only.
On that little tease, I guess.
On that bombshell.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for
next week.
listening.
Thank you very much for listening. If you want to support us, you can find us on Patreon. Follow us on all social medias at LARPs and Tarps. And if you want £15 off your first Empire ticket, you can use our discount codes in the description. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe and like this video. And if you're on any podcast app, it'd be great if you could leave us a 5-star review, because that really helps people
Or
find
4,
our
or
podcast.
5.
No, specifically
No,
5.
of
Look,
5.
leave the worst review you've ever left in your life, but just give us 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly.
That
You
would
can
be
write all the
ideal.
shit about us.
Just say the shittest podcast I've ever heard, 5 stars. That's
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Cut that out.
Thanks very much for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.